Hello and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. This is Sunaina, and this time I'm doing a Divine Masculine reading for the group connected to their water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising for the period of July 15th to the 30th, 2019. Now, this is my third reading, guys, and I'll tell you to be honest with you, the energies that is coming on my table is more or less the same with regards to the readings I have done before with the divine masculines, and I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised because it's like an awakening all of a sudden towards this twin flame connection for everybody. Now, at this moment, with this group that I'm tapping into for the water signs, guys, they have two major arcanas which I've never had before. I'm getting the sun and the moon in here for this group of divine masculine together, which is telling me clearly that in this portion of time, this set of divine masculine is waking up to the fact and getting the clarity of the situation with regards to this twin flame connection, guys, because it is this moonlight that is giving him the clarity. He's doing a lot of internal work at the same point with regards to his own understanding, with regards to this connection, with regards to his illusions, to his fear, the terror, the dread that he had been holding in his subconscious state, which was giving him trouble because he was not getting the clarity. So it's a very spiritual work that he is doing at this moment, connecting very spiritually with this connection at this moment. And that is where he's realizing that, he it was all an illusion. He can actually walk out of that illusion to walk into the sunlight because the sun is waiting for him. And the sun is all about positivity, all about happiness, all about joy, all about bliss, all about understanding of this connection to celebrate this beautiful relationship, guys. So, in his higher self, in this period, this eclipse is going to create a lot of massive shakeups in the twin flame connection, guys, in the month of July. I've said this for the last two readings, and I'm saying this in the third reading as well, that it's with regards to the moon's influence over a lot of people at this point. The moon is creating a very high impact on every situation in your life in the month of July. And it being the Cancer season, the moon is influencing people to understand what is that they had been doing wrong or they had been thinking wrong. They are getting that clarity from the moonlight to walk into the sun because the moon is letting them know now that whatever you had been thinking for so long, divine masculines, you had only been creating illusions. You were not manifesting the right direction because you were so scared. You were not attempting to clear that misunderstanding. You were not attempting to clear that illusions. You were holding on to that fear, the dread, the terror of not knowing what you need to do. But now we are giving you this beautiful direction that it's time for you to walk away from here and into the sun to bring this positive energy back of the twin flame connection in your higher self, guys. So it's a beautiful energy that he has the sun and the moon with him. Very, very rare that I have never seen this for so long, to be honest. But this is the first time I'm getting these two cards in here, which is kind of making me think that, it's so much of the moon, the eclipses, the season change, the change in the universe that is creating this high level of impact, sorry, to change situations in your own life as well, guys. And this is happening again because of the moon's influence and the sun coming into his zone. He is recognizing this connection as a divine connection of his past life situation. This situation involves your past life memories. So the universe is letting him know that it is not somebody who has just accidentally walked into your zone. No, this person or this connection is a spiritual manifestation by the universe. So this is somebody in your zone. The person who is connected with you in this twin flame relationship is the person you have known, you have been connected with since your past life. So this important notion or this important awakening is happening because in the recent past he has woken up to this connection, the set of divine masculine with the four of cups in the reverse. There has been a sudden awakening in the past, acceptance of this relationship, understanding of this relationship, that this relationship has not been manifested by you, divine feminine, nor by him. It has been manifested from the universe, and it is time for him to accept that universal connection, to take this twin flame journey into the next level. So, this awakening is now happening also with regards to the change in the 5D with the moon and the sun and the past life card in here, guys. So, it is a tremendous amount of shake-up in this group of divine masculine with regards to their water signs, where they are suddenly kind of coming back to life and telling them, letting themselves know that, where was I? What was I doing? How did I not see this connection? How did I not see the spiritual wisdom? Or how did I not wake up to this connection a long time before? Because I had been sitting in that place, trapping my illusions, trapping my fear in such a way that I was not able to look above and beyond the moonlight that was creating the darkness in my zone, guys. Okay, so, excuse me. So that is the kind of feeling, understanding, the change, the energies, the frequencies, the vibrations that is now getting into him slowly as he is walking into this connection with a different mindset, guys. Okay, and this mindset is changing his overall energy with the Five of Swords in here, where he is getting hold of the fact that, do I win this battle alone? Because if I win this battle by myself, it's not going to be fun, because it's like I will win for myself, yes, but isn't it better to go mutual on this? Isn't it better to be progressing in this connection, throwing the other things away, to walk hand in hand with regards to this connection with each other? So this is the story in here, in the overall, because he knows that he has been doing things wrong. Okay, he has accepted the fact that all this disagreement, all this hostility, all the tensions that he had been facing was because of his own self-conflict, was because of his own self-illusion. And now when this awakening has happened, when the sun has come back or is coming back into his zone, he's getting hold of the idea that it's time for him to throw away the conflict, to throw away the illusion, the hostility, the disagreement, the tension, and to progress in this connection in a much better and mutual way, guys. Okay, so taking hold of you, divine feminines, holding your hands, walking towards this beautiful connection, because he knows that even if he defeats you by any chance, even if he kinds of defeats this connection, he won't feel happy. He knows that. He knows, because with all these things going on in the higher self, he knows that this connection is meant to be with you because of this past life situation. And therefore, even if he goes and walks alone or walks away, defeating you, he won't be happy. So now he wants to win this over. He has that ambition, he has that will, he has the desire to bring that connection back, but in a very mutual way that he wants. Because this question over here with this card is, do I feel defeated or do I do a mutual agreement? Because if I feel defeated, Even defeating this connection, I won't be happy. So it's better not to do that. It's better to be mutual in this regard. It's better to have a mutual connection, to come mutually together, to understand, to compromise, and to walk into the situation in a much better way. So that is his overall self energy at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, especially to ladies that I am addressing to at this moment, guys. So this overall self energy is making, it's a very air energy. It's a mental energy that is going on in his zone, but it is happening because he now realizes that with regards to the moon and the sun in the past life, that he cannot do this alone. And even if he tries to walk away, defeating this connection, defeating you, he won't be a happy camper. So that is where he now wants to take a mutual step. He wants to carry forward his mutual contract with you in this twin flame relationship, and he wants to make this relationship a happy and prosperous area in both your lives, guys. Let's take a clarifier for the Five of Swords in here. And look, he has got the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess. Okay, so it's the moon again. It's the inner voice that is letting him know, hey, listen, buddy, it's time for you to wake up, okay? Because it's a past life connection. We are giving you the sun back. You're coming out of the moonlight to turn your own wheel of fortune because you have learned your lessons. You have learned your lessons in a very hard way, guys. And look at my twin flame video the other day that I did a few days before with regards to the lessons learned. So here is the High Priestess letting him know that it's time to go mutual, because if you don't join hands in this connection, you will lose not only your own self, not only your own happiness, but you will never be able to turn your wheel of fortune ever again, because your wheel of fortune is sitting in the middle of this connection. And the moment you walk into it, the moment you mutually take this connection, respect this connection, learn from the mistakes you have made, that's when things will improve in your situation. Things will improve in your zone. You will feel so much more positive. You will bring back so much more happiness. You will understand yourself in such a better way because of this connection that is going to restart your own destiny once again, guys. Okay, so this is the lesson that the High Priestess is letting him know. Take this lesson, the mistakes you have made, the disagreements, the self-loathing, everything that you have done in the past, clear that because of the lessons you have learned to turn your own wheel of fortune, because now is the time. We are giving you the clarity. We are giving you the understanding of this connection. It's your past life situation, and therefore it's time for you to respect that connection, to move forward in the right direction, guys. Okay? So lessons, and lessons. Oh my God. Now what he's leaving behind is the Judgment in the reverse and the Six of Wands in the upright, guys. So what he's leaving behind again at this moment is his self-loathing, is his illusions, is his self-entrapment, self-sabotage, whatever that self thing that he had been doing, the self-toxicity, the self-negativity, being the narcissist in this connection, everything that, all the wrongdoings that he had been involving himself into, indulging himself into, he's leaving all that behind to walk forward to celebrate the grand success of this story with the sun in here, guys. Okay? So this is the time period you will see a lot of movement with the divine masculines in all their signs. It is so much of a change in the energy. I have nothing to say here, guys. The lessons have been so tough for him. It's not been an easy journey, but he had to have that lessons, because I believe that without lessons, you don't learn things in life, okay? So let's take a clarifier for the Judgment in the reverse, and the Six of Wands upright. So he's leaving behind all the toxicity. He's leaving behind all those situations. He's leaving behind that, where he was not able to see the bigger picture of this connection. He had unachievable expectation out of these connections, maybe, but at the same time, all those wrong things that he had been indulging in, the narcissism, the disrespect, the self loathing, and it was all happening not because he wanted to do this intentionally, guys, but he was doing that because the universe was crumbling him in every possible direction because they wanted him to come back into the situation in the right way. So, for somebody to come back, to see the bigger picture, to understand, to get rid of the jealousies, the fear, the insecurities, a person has to go through the hard lesson. A person has to understand the brighter side of this connection. But for them to understand, they have to go through the dark side of their own self loathing in order to come out from there, crumble, shatter, go down directly, and then rise back again, guys. Okay, so this is what he's leaving behind, because whatever he had been holding that was not making him move was his own narcissism. Okay, he had unachievable expectation out of you, divine feminine, at a certain point in time, thinking that you will be doing all the weightlifting while he does nothing, or you will be bringing things on the platter for him while he just takes it and has fun with it. But now, and he was not able to look at the bigger picture of the give and take relationship. So therefore now he has realized his own self loathing. He has realized his own narcissist self, and he has realized the mistakes of the lessons he has learned from the moonlight, that the connection is not something one way. This connection is something bigger and brighter than he could have ever imagined. So this is the story, which he leaves behind at this point in time to move forward with the Six of Wands, to celebrate, to enjoy this victory. Excuse me, to move into the sun, because now he's getting the connection back in the right direction, guys. Okay. Now, with regards to what he is still manifesting, or what he's going to continue to manifest, is the Eight of Cups in the reverse, the Five of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands upright, guys. Okay, so now he is understanding the difference between what he had been doing and what he now has to do. Now he has to find a middle ground, because he knows that he had been keeping the situation on hold. He was not moving out of his comfort zone because he was not ready to sacrifice what he had. And that is the reason today he is realizing that by sticking on to that state of his self, what he had been holding because he was scared to move forward, he was not a risk taker. He did not want to take a risk. But without taking that risk, he has become poor today. He is poor. He's begging you guys to return back that love. He wants to go back. He wants to come back into this journey in the most adventurous and fearless way now. He wants to take this journey to move forward, because when he does a comparison with what he had done wrong and the lessons he has learned, what is the lesson he has learned is because of his own stupid actions, he has become very poor today. He is a poor person. Now he's begging you guys, divine feminine, to return back the warmth, to return back the positivity, to return back the love to him, because he knows that he has done a lot of things wrong in the past, guys. Okay, so now he wants to move forward. He wants to take this adventure to the next level. He wants to come in as the Knight of Wands. He wants to travel with you. He wants to be fearless now. He wants to put the rest of the things in the back burner to move forward in the right direction with your love that he's begging you guys to give him back. Okay, so let's take a clarifier for the Eight of Cups in the reverse, the Five of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands upright. Wow. The lessons have been really tough on the divine masculines. The twin flame video has told me that a long time before. And now when I'm doing these readings, I can see how the lessons have manifested. The energies to change, because unless you learn from your mistakes, guys, the too many cards. Unless you learn from your mistakes, you will never be able to recognize the good side of that relationship. So it's like the ebb and flow, ladies. When you stepped back, when you let him fight his own battle, he has realized his own follies. He realized where he had gone wrong and what he needs to do in order to bring back his middle ground now, his temperance, to balance this energies in the right direction, to understand where he needs to go from here, how he can manifest the Knight of Wand, the fearless adventure, to leave whatever has gone wrong in the past, to understand that, intentionally or unintentionally, he may have created a lot of mishaps. So now he wants to put all those things behind. He wants to move forward. He wants to take this journey in the right way, and by finding the middle road, by finding the middle ground where situations will improve, where things will naturally progress, and where people, and in his twin flame connection, he will be able to feel happy to move towards the sun, the positivity, and the vibrations that the universe is sending to him, guys. Okay. Now, what is entering his zone is the realization with the learned mistakes, okay, or with the learned lessons. He is realizing that by doing the narcissist act or by doing all the wrong things, he has damaged his own soul and heart, because these two areas are completely empty, devoid of any life in him. So this realization of the emptiness, of the loneliness, what happens to a person when the love is taken away from their zone? Things dry up. There is no life in you because you have no love. And love is something that lights up your life, that lights up your soul, that lights up your heart. And if you don't have love, if you have a lot of wealth, wealth doesn't light you up, guys. Wealth gives you a very temporary kind of feeling, good feeling. But in the long run, or in the, in a bigger picture, it's the love that actually fills your heart and fills your soul. And if you don't have that, and if you're sitting with pots of gold in your pocket, it's not going to manifest your love. It's not going to bring you back your emotions. It's not going to bring you back your happiness or your positivity, because gold, silver, diamonds, money can only buy you stuff, material stuff, but they cannot buy you love, really. What can buy you love is this person, your past life connection in this twin flame journey. She is the only person who can buy him love, who can fill his heart, who can fill his soul. And this is the realization that is coming into his self in the spirit and time, where he feels poor without that love, and he's begging you guys to give you back that love, because he knows his emotions have dried up completely without this love story in the right direction, guys. He wants it all back. He can feel that emptiness, that vacuum in his heart and soul. Because of the learned lessons, he has understood what he did was terribly wrong, guys. Okay, let's take a clarifier for the Ace of Cups in the reverse. No life, and life without love, there is no life. I've said this long time before, and I'm repeating that for people who have not heard my earlier videos here. You can have material prosperity, you can have financial success, but when it comes to your deeper side of your emotional state, which is important to keep you alive on this planet Earth, it's love. It's love. And without that, you are nobody. Excuse me. Without that, you are nobody, guys. And that is the realization that is dawning into this man, into the divine masculine, because they can feel your absence, and they now know that what they have done in the past was all their illusions, was all their own fear, which in turn had left them out in the cold, had dried their emotions up completely with the Five of Pentacles. He's got Five of Pentacles dupe here, guys. He's got the Five of Pentacles. So he is feeling miserable. Miserable because now he realizes that because of his own mistakes, because of his own doings, because of his own selfishness, because of his problems that he figured or he thought that he will not leave the comfort zone to take this risk, he lost out everything in return. He might have pots of gold for all you know, but he has no love. And that is where he's feeling extremely poor, even though his bank balance might be sufficiently good. But as a human being, as a person, he is completely drained. He is feeling left out in the cold. He is feeling very poor without your connection, without your touch, without your love, without your understanding, guys. Okay, because you're holding the key to this story with the Wheel of Fortune in here, guys. So if you don't come into this relationship, divine feminine, this Wheel of Fortune is not going to turn for this man. Now in here, he has the grounding energy as the Queen of Cups in the reverse, the Seven of Swords in the reverse, guys. It's an air and water energy that he's connecting with in the ground. Because right now, he knows that he has to bring back his emotions in the right way. He has to keep a control on his emotional self because the Queen of Cups is all about emotions. All about emotions. And that is where his emotions have been drained. But he has to bring back his emotions in the right way. In the right way, not by duping people, not by letting people know that, yes, he has his emotions, but he's playing tricks with that. No, he has to come clean with his emotions to bring back everything in his zone in the right way, and that he recognizes in the true spirit, to get rid of his insecurities, of his fear, of his dependency that he had been holding, which had in turn completely made him poor because he was so dependent on something else for his happiness that in the event he did not realize how poor he actually has become in this entire time frame. So now he wants to get rid of all that. He wants to bring it all back. He wants to bring back his emotions. But now he wants to do that in the right way because he has again learned his lessons. Quite hard, guys. Quite hard. Let's take a clarifier for the Queen of Cups in the reverse and the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Dependency, too many cards. Dependency, he was being a martyr to his own self-need. Okay, he was looking after his own self-centered possessions, material wealth, financial balance, but in the event, that dependency created more insecurities in him because he felt he never had enough, and he never had enough because he never had love. He never had enough because he never had love, and he did not have the common sense to have recognized that love is the most important part of the story in here. Even if you have less money, but if you have your love intact, you can manifest back your money. But once love goes, it takes you years to manifest back that love. And that is a lesson he has learned. He is learning and he is going to be learning. And now, therefore, he wants to come to you in a very clean, honest way to let you know, guys, that his emotions, you have the key to his emotional self. You are the only person who can bring that emotions and fill his Ace of Cups. Let's take a clarifier for this. So he definitely, oh my God, look at this. He definitely wants to now heal and to take his Chariot because he feels disbalanced now with the Chariot in the reverse. He has understood that his life is without any balance. He has lost control of his own self-balance because he did not move the Chariot. And that is the reason at this moment he is asking you guys to help him to revive, to rejuvenate, because he has his hope and faith that he will be able to work things out in order for him to move the Chariot in this love relationship, in this twin flame journey, guys. Okay? So he is definitely in that frame of mind. He has learned his lessons, like I told you. That's the only thing that I'm going through with all these readings. I can see that on my table. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, should I be in awe? Should I not be in awe? Or should I be really sad for him? Should I not be sad for him? I'm perplexed, guys, okay? Now, the challenges over here, he has 3 cards. Is Faith in the reverse, is the page of the page of cups in the upright and the five of wand upright. So the challenge for him is to keep his faith intact with the star card, to heal from the past, okay? To bring back his own self belief in this journey, in his own self. Forget about the journey, in his own self, to understand all his mistakes, all the lessons, all the teachings, all the experiences that he has gone through with regards to his own self issues, guys. And now it's the time for him to make that offer, to put an end to that competition, to put an end to that rivalry that he had initiated, which in turn had made him poor or has made him poor now. So now it's the time to finish that rivalry, that superiority complex, that I'm superior, I have the control issue, I'm going to run, I'm going to be the narcissist, I'm going to dictate the situation, and I. It's me, my, mine. That was the situation. So now, excuse me, now is the point in his life where he now understands that no, I cannot do that. Because the more I do that, the less I get. And the more I do that, the more poor I am. Okay, so now it's the time to bring back that happiness, to make that offer, to keep my faith intact that I will be able to settle this conflict, to make this offer, to cure the problems, to work out through the rivalry, to work out through this competition, because I have made the mistake and I have to bring this back into life once again. But that's a challenge area. That's the area of challenge that he has right now as to how he can work things out in the right way. And that is what he's battling with at this point in time, guys. Okay, let's take a clarifier for the faith card in the reverse, the page of cups upright, and the the five of wand. So these divine masculines, guys, foolish. Foolish, that's the word I can get hold of right now. Foolish. Okay, so now he's facing the challenge to cure this area, to bring back, to finish that subtle battle that he had initiated into this twin flame connection, because now he's realizing that in order for him to be again rich, and rich in the right way, not through his material comfort, he needs you guys. And he has to make that offer. And he wants to close the old cycle right now. That's a challenge area, guys. Okay, he wants to close that past conflict, the past hurt, the grief, the lessons he has learned, the offer he has to make. He wants to finish the old hurt, pain, and the grief, kill the old chapter to begin the new chapter in his life in this twin flame connection. But that's coming up in the challenge area. So he has to work a lot in order to close the old chapter, to begin this new chapter, to start fresh in this journey, to bring this connection back into life. Now, where does he find his support in being the king of sword? So where does he find his support is using his head over his heart. Very spiritual card, guys. Very stern king. Very stern, because this man doesn't have emotions. This man has only logic. So the only place that he can find his support is by using his rational and his logic to revive this connection, because if he uses his emotions, he is again going to go down the drain, because emotions has dried up. He doesn't have emotions at this moment. So even if he wants to, he really cannot use his emotions. But what he has and what he can use is his logic and rational, to be the judge, the lawyer, the stern man, to take control of the situation in the rightful way, but by doing it in the right direction, by using his head over his heart in the most spiritual fashion, to connect with the moon and the sun, to connect with his own energies of his own wisdom, of his own self situation, to know whatever the lessons that he has learned is a time for him to manifest the next reality, the next phase of his life. But for him to do that, he has to use his head over his heart, guys. His rational, his logic, that is what is there intact with him. Emotions have gone right now. So if he wants to use his emotions, he will fail miserably. He will come out looking miserable. So he cannot use his emotions, but what he can definitely use is his logic and his rational to take his call on this twin flame connection, guys. Okay. So that is where he was going to find his support. Please give me a clarifier for the King of Swords in here. And that is the ammunition the divine is giving him at this moment in order for him to bring back the sun, to connect with the sun energy, because the head over the heart situation, the moment he applies that, he will get all um, the answers to all the issues, to all the questions that he needs to resolve at this point in time. He cannot use his emotions at all, but yes, he can definitely use his rational and logic to bring back that positivity into this connection, to celebrate the success of this beginning that he is now trying desperately hard to do it. So, in order for him to manifest this and connect himself with that, he will definitely have to be spiritually wise with the moon's influence in here, but at the same time, he will have to clear his mind, clear his head, get the clarity of the situation using his logic and rational, guys. Now, at this point, my spirit is telling him that his support will be in the Ace of Wands to start this passion, to start this relationship. Under any circumstances, he will have to start this in order for him to get back into life, to kick back into life, because otherwise he's sitting in a place where he's completely drowned in poverty. So he doesn't have to do that. He can start this journey. He will have to start this work. He will have to manifest this work. He will have to get inspired, divine inspiration from the universe to take this fire energy into effect and restart this journey once again. Learned his lessons, guys. Learned his lessons. Please give me a clarifier for the Ace of Wands in here. Learned his lessons in a very hard way. Wow. The divine masculines, guys, had never probably imagined that they will have to go through so much. But yes, that's the call from the universe. What can you do? What can you do, guys? Let's get a clarifier for the Ace of Wands. So my spirit is letting him know that it's time for him to start, build this up slowly. Take your time, the little time that you have to take, but work towards bringing back your emotions that has completely dried up in this phase of your life. The Ten of Cups. The moment you restart this connection, because this person is holding the divine feminine is holding the key to this cups of emotions, the 10 cups of emotions. So the moment you begin this journey, the moment you restart your drive in this passion, in this flame of passion, the moment you drown yourself, the moment you bring things back into life for yourself, you will start feeling that beautiful connectivity with your emotions that is definitely going to make you only rich and never poor anymore, guys. Okay, so this is the story as of this time, and the outcome that you have in here is, of course, the Hanged Man at this moment in here, guys, which is telling me that in this period in time, he will have to understand that there is a need for him to pause a little bit at this moment, okay? Pause in the sense that he will now have to do a self-reflection back and forth a little bit, go back and forth into this connection to understand everything in the right direction, because now he has to work. He is getting ready to move. So before he can move in the right way, because universe is stalling him at this point in time, because at this moment he will have to understand where are the areas of sacrifice and the lessons he has learned. He has to go back and delve into that. He has to release himself from that martyrdom, from the sacrifices that he now has to make. He has to move back and past these energies at this point in time till the end of the month to understand how can he move forward in the right direction, guys. What is that he needs to do in order to take this journey into the next phase, and what are the sacrifices that he will also have to make in order to release himself from the entrapment in here to move forward. So that is the conclusion right now till the end of July, that he is going to be doing a thorough study again, a research on everything that has opened up in his zone after the lessons he has learned, to move forward, to connect with the sun, and therefore spiritually too, he's being very spiritual also at this point. Spiritually too, he's connecting with the moon to now understand that it is time for him to take a break, to pause for a moment, to get hold of the situations in the right direction. Because once he jumps into it, he cannot backtrack. And if he backtracks, he will lose this connection forever. So he cannot take a risk, guys. He cannot afford to take any more risk. So before he actually moves forward, he will have to be a little bit patient. He will have to go through his own self analysis, do a postmortem on these lessons he has learned, on the situations that has developed, on this kind of issues that has been created because of his own lack of common sense. So that is where he is going to be working towards this after a brief pause that he will take in order to do a reflection on these lessons he has learned, guys. Okay, so let's take a clarifier for the Hanged Man in here. But this is what it is, guys, okay? Because everything happens for a reason. Everything is for a reason at this point in time. And this is where he's coming to give and take, guys. And this is where he is waiting to find out. He's in hope and he's in despair. At this moment, he's getting sleepless nights. He's worried and anxious as to how he can manifest this relationship, which will have an equal give and take of emotions, of love, of happiness, of positivity, of vibrations, of frequency in the right direction. And that is where he is getting stuck a little bit, or he is holding himself tied down a little bit, because whatever he needs to sacrifice in order to give you back everything, all those calculations is happening, but the calculations are happening in a beautiful way, with the focus and intention towards this relationship, because now he definitely wants to give you, because it's like, you give me back, I give you back. You give me back love, I give you back your emotions. You give me back your emotions, I give you back your sun. You give me back your sun, I give you back your world. I give you back your healing. I give you back your chariot. I give you back your wheel of fortune. And you will be able to find the middle ground in order to go forward in this relationship, guys. Okay, so this is where this give and take situation is going to manifest, and he's going to stall himself at this point in time in order to get hold of the story in the right direction, which will allow him to move forward in the right way, guys. Okay, so until then, take care, goodbye, God bless, see you once again, Khuda Hafiz, and Namaste.